So how would you characterize the SSD market at the moment in terms of, is it quite mature, or are there still sort of developments going on that we need to be aware of?
Well, we are just starting to transition with NVMe. SAS and SATA have been around for quite some time, but NVMe has been around for a couple of years now, and it's maturing. But the big vendors, the big storage vendors, are now just starting to adopt it in their products, which is really going to drive that transition. But with any transition, it's going to be 5 or 6 years. But in addition to just the protocol, you've now got new form factors coming out as well. So in addition to like PCIe and the U.2 form factor, and of course the M.2 gumstick form factor, folks like Samsung and Intel are bringing out more larger ruler form factors to get more density into these drives. So again, we're having now a form factor transition in addition to the interface transitions.
And one of the other interesting things at the moment is the debate between SSD inside the server and keeping it outside in, say, a mixed storage array. What are your thoughts on those two approaches?
So we have seen customers that need very low latency, and they had reverted going back into local drives inside the servers in order to get that latency profile they needed. But when they did that, they gave up the goodness of having why RAID arrays were created in the first place, which is having that shared storage pool, which increases your utilization. So we've seen that happening, but now with NVMe over Fabrics coming into play, it allows them to now still get that low latency that they need with a shared NVMe storage array for NVMe over Fabrics. And things like that's where EA storage comes in and says, okay, I have now proven that I can get as good latency, or even better in some cases, with very high performance and the goodness and reliability of having a RAID, dual controller RAID architecture for data protection, and getting much better NVMe or storage utilization out of that system. So.
And in terms of one or two specific sort of industry examples, are there, whether it's finance sector, life sciences, are there sort of specific industries that are really getting to grips with SSDs at the moment?
Absolutely. So as far as NVMe adoption goes, the folks that really make their money with their applications are the ones that are seeing the adoption first. Financial markets was, of course, our first customers, where they're doing real-time analytics of the trade data for every day that drives their trades for the next day. We're seeing customers in the bioinformatics and genome sequencing, and they're using NVMe and SSDs for very high-performance scratch-tier space. So E8 has customers, folks like European Bioinformatics Institute, or EBI, as well as Queen Mary University here in London. Again, very high performance scratch tier for genome sequencing. So high performance computing customers in many different verticals are where we're seeing that fast adoption.
Okay, that's great. Thanks very much indeed.
Okay, great.